Okay, let's see if we are live. Hold on. Okay, let's see if we are live. Okay, so it looks like we are live, I hope. Let me change this real quick. So you should be seeing Isha and me now, I hope.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so it looks like we are live. Okay, so I think, Isha, maybe you have the YouTube video still the sound on?
Hello, everyone. It's off.
On your iPad? Isha, maybe you have...
Oh, it's off.
Do you have it off on your iPad?
No. Hello, everyone. It's off.
Hold on.
No sound. Oh, it's off.
Hold on.
Hold on just a second.
Let me check some.
It was working fine. I don't know. Okay, it should be fine. I think it's fine.
So let's see. I hope it's working now. Yeah, exactly. Tech stuff is not fun. Beth says.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, anyway, I hope
I
we are
guess.
good now. So first of all, hi Isha, welcome to the Pinkfresh Studio YouTube live part.
You, Kathleen. Hello. Hello, everyone.
And I'm very excited to have Isha with me today because we are going to sneak peek some of the new products that we'll be releasing next week. So next week at this time, they're already going to be live. And yeah, we have some fun things in store for you. But first of all, before we get started with our cards, a few housekeeping things. So I think behind the Pinkfresh Studio name is Jody today, I think. So hi, Jody. And then
Hi, Jody.
and then one very exciting thing. As always, we are going to have a giveaway. But today we are giving away the full Joyful Blooms release that is releasing next week, which is over $480 in value, to one lucky winner in the live chat. So all you have to do to be entered to win is just be active in the chat, like ask questions, chat with everyone here. Let us know when you give us a thumbs up. We also love it if you share the video. Let us know when you do that. We, of course, would love it if you subscribe to the channel. So every time you enter something in the chat is another entry for this huge giveaway. And yeah, anything else I forgot? I don't think so.
I guess not.
Okay, so yeah, bear with us. We are trying like new things today with a new sort of streaming software and all of that. So well, if we have some technical difficulties, then please just bear with us. And yeah, I think we should flip our camera to let the people see what we are going to be working with.
Yes. Let's start.
Hold on. So I will have to have Isha here. So, and I have to flip my screen around. Okay. So you can already see that we have a washi tape again. Very exciting.
Yes. And it's very pretty.
It is very pretty. So you can see
Yeah.
it's sort of like a watercolor floral collection. Very
Yeah.
beautiful colors, I think. Like the
Yeah. And
colors,
it has some gold accents.
yeah, the gold foil, of course.
Beautiful. Yes.
And yeah, I think a lot of people were waiting for new washi tapes,
Mm-hmm.
for white washi tapes. So this is a lot of fun. And then, of course, we also have coordinating products. So we have a
Yes.
coordinating stamp set. So this product suite is called Blooming Grace. We have a coordinating stamp set that is 6 by 8 inches. And then we
Mm-hmm.
also have coordinating dies, of course, and a 6-piece layering stencil set for this.
Yes.
And we are also going to be sneaking, I think both of us are going to be using a new addition to our essentials dies. This one's called double
Yes.
stitched rectangles. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
And
Isha
it's
has a
very pretty.
very fun idea with this one to show you in just a bit. Um, Now, if just a sec, just one thing that I want to mention before we get actually get started on our cards is that you might notice that we have a different format for the coordinating stamp for our washi tape and also for the die. And that is because we made it even better. Because if you remember, if you're already familiar with our washi tape suites, then you know that we always had, so you have one whole panel on this washi tape that is repeated over and over. So each washi tape includes about 41 to 43 of those panels. And then in the past, we had the coordinating die for this floral collection came as one piece, which sometimes made it a little bit difficult if you didn't have those extended plates for your die cutting machine. But we made it even better because we split those up into two pieces. So now it fits every regular die cutting machine that, you know, Platinum 6, Big Shot, whatever you have. And then you would just place your two dies. You can first die cut this piece and then you could die cut the next one. And of course, the same goes for the coordinating stamp. So the floral clusters are also broken up into two pieces on the stamp so that it's even easier for you to stamp that in your with a stamp positioner and also to die cut it. So that is something that I wanted to mention because I think that is a very really good update on those on those washi tape product suites, which makes it even easier and more fun to use them. So I'm just checking the comments real quick, and while I do that, I think Isha can let you know what she roughly has in mind for you today.
Yeah, sure. So what I'm thinking is I will use the dies to give texture to my card. So I'll be giving texture for using the dry embossing technique. So I'll be using all the dies to create the background. And then since I have all the dies together adhered with washi, I will also die cut and we'll get lots of frames. So for this card, I'm using just the outside frame. So we have like this is kind of a way to stretch our supplies. So we are giving texture with the die cuts and also use the die cut as frame. So this is one thing. And then for washi, I'm going to use it on vellum. And using it on vellum, it would give a really pretty, translucent, elegant feel, which goes perfect with this design because this is really very pretty floral design with lots of whimsical florals. So yeah, that's my idea. And then we'll see how it goes further.
But already sounds like a great idea. So what I'm gonna do, so the fun part is we didn't actually sort of communicate beforehand which part of the of this product suite each one of us is gonna use. But it all worked out fine because Isha is going to focus more on the washi tape and the rectangle, the double stitch rectangle dies. And I, on the other hand, will focus more on the stamp and the coordinating layering stencils. So you get to see like all of the product suite in one live, which I think is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm going to
is.
go ahead and use both stamps in my stamp positioner. And I already
Mhm.
cut down a piece of white cardstock to roughly like 6 by 8 inches, just large enough so that it fits both stamps at once, so that I don't have to do like multiple steps. And then I'm just going to
Yeah.
peel off those two stems. And with large stems like this that are sort of merged together, what you want to do when you take off your stems is don't pull the stamp itself, but rather try to peel back the backing sheet so that you don't stretch your stems. Like
And
especially the first times. Sorry?
meanwhile I have my vellum piece here, and I'm going to adhere the washi onto vellum.
Okay.
It's quite
So
easy to do.
exactly. So that is, I think, a fun part about the washi tape, that you can adhere it to basically any kind of paper that you want. Of course, white cardstock always works well, but if you use it on vellum, you get this sort of translucent look of the washi tape, and it makes those
Exactly.
die cut pieces look even more sort of delicate. And you could even put your
Yeah, and
washi tape on colored cardstock.
yes, yes, that looks nice too. So I have just put the vellum washi onto the vellum, and now I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder
I'm just
here.
trying to look at the comments. So if we ever miss a question and Jodie's not able to answer just because it's something that we are actually doing here, then please just ask again. It's not that we are ignoring you. It's just that sometimes the comments fly by really fast, and especially like with the whole two people here and the whole technical stuff, I might miss some of the questions. But I saw something. And what would really help if you have a question, put like question in capital letters at the beginning of your comment, and that way it's easier to catch when we are just having a look.
So to die cut, like washi is very difficult. If we put washi on top of it, it wouldn't adhere. So for my die cutting, what I do is I take another washi tape and then adhere it to my plate, die cutting plate. So this way the die wouldn't move.
Exactly. So the important part here
Yeah,
is that you actually cover or like have this the second washi tape also touch the die cutting, like the cutting plate itself.
right. Cutting plate and then the cutting mat.
Yeah.
So Kathleen, I will quickly go to my die cutting machine
Okay.
and come back in a second.
So I'm just stamping, like I'm inking up my stamps right now with Misty Coast because, as I said, I'm going to use the coordinating stencils. Um, and I want to have black outlines in the end, but I will first do the stamping in this very light ink, just so that the black ink doesn't smear when I use the layering stencils. So I will stamp this with Misty Coast. And then it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just so that I can line up my layering stencils. And then I'm going to take out the paper, but I will keep my stamps in here and not remove them, so that when I go back in with the black ink, I can just put my paper in and have it in the exact same place. Oops.
So here I have my die cuts ready. It was easy. And now I'm going to use the second die and we'll die cut the same way as we did the first one.
So I saw someone asking how many stencils in the layering stencil set. It's 6 stencils, which sounds like a lot, but they are fairly easy to use, I would say. So
Yeah.
And as with all of our stencils, you get, if you turn it the right way around, you see in the upper left corner, there's the number of the stencil etched in there so that you know the order in which to use the stencils. And you can see that some stencils, like this one, stencil number 1, has like only these few large openings, so it's a quick one. And then the stencil also has, for washi tapes, has this edged line here, so that you know that the upper part is the stencil for, hold on, for the upper part on the stamp set, for this one. And then the lower part on the stencil is the part for this floral cluster here.
So now I have all my die cuts ready. And now we are going to do the fun part, which is adding texture using the die cuts. So what I have done is I have taken all the dies and put washi behind them so that they stay together like this. And now I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, put my die cut and paper like that, add some washi.
Tiffany says, double stamping live is brave. Thank you, Tiffany. I hope it works out. We will
Yeah,
see.
it is. You are brave.
So as you can see, so
So
this stencil right here, so the upper part only has those 2 flowers for this cluster. So I'm not even gonna adhere the stencil like with my magnets or anything. I will just hold it with my hand because it's just this little part here. And this also makes it a
so
little
I
bit
want
quicker.
okay. I want to show you the sandwich for this
Yeah,
technique. I have my A plate that is from the Spellbinders, and then I'll put C plate. I don't have the matte tan matte from this silicone matte from Spellbinder. So this is my tan matte from um, Sizzix machine. And then paper is down, die cut down towards the mat. And then I'm putting 2 cardstock shims and then my B plate. And this sandwich I'm going to run through my die cutting machine, and then I will share how it looks.
okay. I think that's a very fun use for those essential dyes and gives us a whole new thing to do with them. So I just used cherry blossom for my first layer here, but I'm also going to use peach fuzz. So I will just sort of mix the different colors on the same layer, like stencil layer. And I want to have a bit more of a sort of pastel, springy, soft look for those flowers.
I like the colors, Kathleen.
Yeah, I was feeling spring. Like today was really nice weather here, so I'm in spring mood.
Yeah, and for me it was easy to pick up the colors because I just picked up the colors from my washi. So now the reveal. Let's see. I hope, fingers crossed. Yes, I think it would look. It's going to look nice. Yes. So look at this
That
texture.
looks so cool.
Yeah, it has got. So this is how I'm giving texture to my background. And now I want to die cut all the frames. I just have to go one more time and then I'm done. So I have a piece of heavyweight cardstock. I'm going to put again, I want to put my paper. And I will simply die cut it.
So I'm using stencil number 2 right now with sheer freesia. And again, I will mix some of the colors. So this also makes it a lot quicker because you don't have to be that exact with like the flowers. And I think it gives it a very fun look in the end. So I'm having a look at the chat again. I hope I didn't miss any questions. I think Jody answered quite a few in between, so thank you for that, Jody.
So I'm back, and I hope I could get these dyes are really good. You know, it gives very nice intricate cutting and details.
Yeah,
So I have all my frames here. Look at that.
that looks so cool. I will definitely have to
Yeah,
try
and
that.
yes, and now we have so many frames here. For today's card, I'm just going to use one,
Mhm.
and then we will. I will show you another card where I've used two of the other frames, but it's fun. It's really fun. And here we have two, five more frames for later.
Yeah, I like when I have like prepared a few things that I can use on
Yeah,
future projects in one go.
exactly.
So
So I want to show you the. Sorry.
someone,
Yes, carry on.
someone was asking about the size of the stencils, saying they are larger than most. That's true for our washi tape stencils. So these measure, I think, about 4.25 inches by 9.25, something like that. But what I do is I usually just keep them in the package that they come in, and then just put them together in the same package with the dies so that I have everything in one place. If you can't find any like matching storage envelopes in that size.
Yeah. So here I want to show you the difference. If you adhere the washi on white cardstock, it looks like this. I adhere it on washi, it has that translucent feel, velvety kind of a feel.
Yeah,
I don't know whether you can see it or feel the difference. Like these are on white cardstock, and here it's on washi. All right, next step.
so as I said, I'm not even adhering my stencils in place. I just hold them, and I think that works really well. But of course, you can also just use a magnet or something to keep them in place.
So next, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to emboss the sentiment using gold embossing powder because we have gold in the washi.
Hmm.
And I'm using the Blooming Grace stamp set for that. I already have the sentiment on my Misty, but it's not centered. So I should center it.
Yeah, I also picked out some gold embossing powder for later for my sentiment too.
Ah,
Even
okay.
yeah, every time I come like arrive at the step of adding my sentiment, I have a hard time
Mm-hmm.
resisting the gold.
So I'm going to use that powder tool so that we can remove the static from the cardstock,
Mhm.
and we don't want embossing powder to be everywhere, like all the stray powder going everywhere.
That's true.
So be extra careful with this step. And then I have I'm using Wow embossing ink, but
Mhm.
you can use Versamark as well.
Question: what does it mean that you adhered the washi tape to washi? Um,
Oh, sorry, vellum.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, it could be washi tape to washi means when we are die cutting.
yeah,
Does she
exactly. That's
mean
what I was
that?
thinking. I'm not sure because it's a
Mm.
very recent question. So, Sherry, if you mean washi to washi, that's when Isha was talking about the die cutting part. Um, that adhering the like when you use washi tape to keep your die in place on another washi tape, then make sure that you also put it on your cutting plate so that it doesn't move, because of course washi tape has a very slick surface. So if that's what you were referring to, that is what Isha talked about earlier.
So I'm using the super fine gold rich embossing powder. Kathleen, do I mute myself? Because
No,
I need to heat emboss.
no, just do it.
Oh, so the noisy part is done. Here, look at that.
Okay, so I actually have lots of greenery to do now.
Oh, I'm loving your color combo,
Thank
Kathleen.
you. So this
All
is
right.
actually one stencil layer. So I am on stencil number 4 right now, and that is the stencil that for most of the greenery. And you can see this one has a lot of openings. So this one I am actually gonna hold down with my magnets. The other ones were a bit easier to just keep in place with my hands.
And I'm going to create a frame using these florals. So I need to play a little bit with the clusters.
Mhm.
Um, I think this is the most difficult part. After that, again, it's easy and fun part because we will be doing some um, ink blending. So it would look basically like that. And I have some extra bits, like I die cut some extra flowers in case I need it. We
Mhm.
will see how it goes. Okay, so this is basically how I want it. And now to add some color, I picked up the colors from here. So like for orange, I'm using Sunkissed
Mhm.
and then soft lilac, and then I'm using sage. So
I
with
love
this,
this
I'm
cluster.
going to give some glow behind my flowers. And I'm using the half-inch blending brushes. Let's see. So now to make life easier, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some washi here, just so that this panel won't move too much. And then I'm going to use sage behind the gray flowers, then sun-kissed behind the orange one, and then soft lilac behind the lilac flowers. And we need to use really very light hand, like otherwise it can go wrong very fast. Take your
But
time.
good thing is there are about 40 more panels on the washi tape, so
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if it
that
goes
is
wrong,
true.
you can die cut another one.
Yeah, that is the best part of washi. I mean, really, you can get um, so many panels out of it, and you can make plenty of cards without
Yeah.
even thinking about it. So I think I'm happy with it. So I like doing blend a lot because it's kind of a stress buster for me.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, it is.
Apart from the sometimes when, at least for me, when it goes completely wrong and it just doesn't turn out the way I thought it would, and then I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
disappointed, then it's not relaxing at all.
Yeah. Do you see the ink colors, Kathleen, or not? Like which colors I'm using?
Yeah.
Because I can change my setting. I have to change my setting a little bit because I was tapping on the. Usually, I would tap ink inside my lid,
Mm-hmm.
ink pad lid, so I don't waste any inks. But
Yeah.
today is an exception, so I'm just tapping it on the side. You can see the colors.
And so for my part, if you, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that I was a little bit out of frame when I
Mm-hmm.
moved to this stencil. So if you like, it might look that I'm just doing a very sloppy job here with the ink blending, but this is actually the look I'm going for. I want to have like a, sort of a gradation between like the dark parts at the bottom of the leaves and then sort of fading out. And
Mm-hmm.
this is actually very easy to achieve if you just like to have apply different pressure when ink blending. So just make sure that you
Yeah.
sometimes lift your brush a little bit, then you go in a little bit deeper again, and that way you get this, I feel like a little bit more of a natural look.
Correct.
Okay.
It is quite forgiving, actually. Like you can change the look when you are ink blending, and if it goes wrong, just change the look a little bit, and then you can get some nice effect.
So creating Sherry is asking if you and I have a YouTube or Instagram channel that people can follow. So Isha, what about you?
Mm, yeah, my Instagram channel is Isha Gupta Designs, and my YouTube is, I think, also Isha Gupta Designs. But you can find my YouTube on Pink Fresh channel, Pink Fresh YouTube channel, because I'm doing videos for them. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So if you can, there are different ways to find our design team members. You can go to the Pinkfresh Studio website and have a look at like card team. There you will find all of the links to the different social media channels. Or you can have a look at the Pinkfresh Studio channel, the different videos. So we have Isha doing videos for us, for example. And then you will also find links. So yeah, different ways to find us. And then I have actually two Instagram accounts. I have
Yes.
like my primary one, or that the one that I've had for the longest time, is called Scattered Confetti. And I actually started with scrapbooking. So on there you will find mostly scrapbooking projects. And then recently, when I got into card making, I also opened a second Instagram account to like post a little bit more of my card making stuff there. And that one is called Cards and Confetti. And then my YouTube account or my YouTube channel that has been neglected for quite a while now is called Scattered Confetti as well. Okay. So I'm just, so now I have arrived at stencil number 5. So this is actually the detail layer for some of the flowers and some of the leaves. So I'm just going in with a deeper color of the same ones that I used before, like from the same color family. So my first layer was, for example, Sheer Freesia. So I'm going in with Hydrangea. Or I use Peach Fuzz. So for the detail, I'm using Clementine and so on. But you could
I
even
think
use the
I'm done
same
with
color.
ink blending now.
You could even use the same color you used on your base layer and just apply it again with a little bit more of a heavy hand, and then you will get a deeper tone as well. So you don't have to have a bunch of inks to make layering stencils work for you.
So now I want to share another tip, Kathleen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give dimension to my images,
Yeah.
and for that, I have a sponge mat here.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do a lot of parchment craft. So it's like embossing tool, parchment craft embossing tool.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is first, I will press a little bit in circular motion in the center, the floral centers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the leaves, I'm just going to give slight shape to them. Just all the
Yeah.
leaves. So this will give us a nice dimensional effect, and
Yeah,
it looks really nice.
it does. I like adding dimension to my florals or leaves. I can never leave them sort of plain or
Yeah,
even.
and sometimes I mean, I like layers. I really love layers, but sometimes it gets really difficult to mail the cards, right? I think all the card makers would understand this dilemma.
That's true. Hold on, I forgot layer here. So I have to. If you could see, well, you can see actually in my frame a little
So,
bit like the stack of inks I have here.
so this is the difference, like if you ink blend them and if you don't. I mean, if you emboss them or if you don't. So this looks flat, whereas this has a lot of
Yeah,
dimension.
true. Okay, I have one more stencil layer to go.
I haven't even checked the time.
We are
I hope
good on
it's not
time. We have
running.
25 minutes left. Like, I think
Okay.
we're good. I mean, I don't even have an idea of what my final card is going to look like, so I don't know if I'm good, but
I have some idea, but to adhere everything, and that also takes time, and I didn't think
that's
about
true.
it. Never mind. We will see. We will finish in time.
We will.
Card making is a relaxing process, so we need not hurry a lot.
At least it should be.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So I think it's done.
So, Rita, yes, there is a gray flower, or actually a few gray flowers on that washi tape. And I think it's a very surprising color scheme, but I think it looks really good. Because it's a bit different than, the usual color schemes of pinks and, all of those typical floral colors. But I think the gray works well with the rest of the colors on that washi tape.
I'm going to put my florals back in place, and then we will adhere them.
So I'm trying to get my last stencil lined up as best as I can without like putting my head completely in front of the camera. That's always a little bit difficult, but
And so I have already cut some strips from my 3M tape because I don't have that, those 3D
Mm-hmm.
foam strips.
Yeah.
So I have these, I already cut them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take tiny bit of 3D foam and adhere it behind the center of the flowers. So then it won't show um, through the vellum.
Okay, so I think I'm done. Like I am not, I don't think, but I am done with my ink blending. I have all
It's
6
looking
stencils done. And right now it
it's
doesn't,
looking very pretty.
but there's still something missing, so I'm gonna do the double stamping and hope I don't ruin the whole effort that I put in.
I'm always scared of that.
Yeah, me too.
Like every single time.
Me too, but
And
no risk, no fun.
yeah, and sometimes it so happens when we are live or when we are doing it like on a video, for me it would definitely go wrong.
Yeah,
Like
and then
let's say, yeah,
I just made a mess behind me with my water glass, so I have to clean that up real quick.
yeah, the kind of mess we create while crafting. Like
Yeah.
if you come here right now, you will see all the mess around my table on the floor.
Yeah, mine too. It always looks so nice on the screen. You only have like the stamps and the washi
Yes,
and whatever, but
I
around
know.
us, it looks like a tornado has gone through my.
Exactly. But it's okay. We can do that later.
Okay, so
And
before
I'm
I
I'm
ink up
going to
my.
start
Yeah.
to adhere my images,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will see if I need more flowers or not.
So before I ink up my stamp, I'm just double checking that I have my paper in the right way around, so I don't ruin it there.
Mhm. I
And
usually put a tiny bit of liquid adhesive behind the 3D foam because that gives slight wiggle room,
mhm.
and it's always nice to have some wiggle room. And also, I'm not going to press the uh, image very strongly at the moment.
Okay. Now I am inking up my stamp right now with the Misty Coast again, so the light gray, just so that I can see if it works. Um,
Hmm.
so that I can sort of figure out a plan B in case it isn't lined up perfectly before I go in with the
Yeah,
black ink. But it looks nice, so I'm gonna ink it up with black.
looking very nice. Yeah.
Normally I probably wouldn't have done this like little extra step, but since this is alive and I don't want to ruin my whole card already, so now I'm just using the detail black ink. And of course you could
Mm-hmm.
also heat emboss these images, but I just want to have this very crisp outline.
Yeah. And if you notice these images, they have slight corners, like I don't know whether you can see it or not, but there is like this image has this corner, this one has this corner. So I'm using those corners for my.
Okay, so let's see. Ready for the reveal? Hope I didn't mess it up. But that looks nice. And I think that makes the colors
Oh,
pop so much more.
yeah.
So,
So no need to be scared, right?
exactly.
We
I'm
should
just
be brave
checking.
and just go with it.
Exactly. And
In the end, it's
normally you don't have a camera on you, so just go for it.
yeah. And now I'm going to press my images because I think the placement is fine. And I need to fill the corner a little bit more, like especially this corner. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to cut this image, add some liquid adhesive, and put it behind this floral. Yeah, I think it looks much better. And also we have some orange color here because I'm missing a little bit of orange color perhaps here. Let me see. I think
So
it will
now
look
that I
nice.
have like my stamped ink blended part is done,
Mm-hmm.
so I can go ahead and die cut those flowers. And
Okay.
what I will do is I will cut those two clusters apart because since we have two dies now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to make it easy on myself.
Yes.
And then you can see here. So it's really easy. This is like a regular size that you can put in any sort of die cutting machine, apart of course from the mini ones. But yeah,
So basically my floral cluster is ready. I mean, I have framed it around my image
it looks so
and
nice.
now I'm going to, yeah, now I'm going to frame it like frame the card. The one thing I forgot is I should have put this panel onto the card base before I started putting the floral cluster. But it's okay, I can do that now. You know, here I have a A2 size side folded card and I'm going to add some.
And I'm making more of a mess.
That's the crafting aftermath.
Okay,
So,
so that one I do have to clean up real quick because I just pushed my black ink pad from my desk onto my
oh,
floor.
yeah, you carry on, take care of it. I'm just adhering my panel to the card base. So it's a landscape format. And you can, if you feel you have less, like if you feel you need more flowers or more of pink color or orange color, let's say here, you can always have extra images. You already have extra image like this big one. You can cut it and put it somewhere wherever you want. So now for the last part, what I have to do is I need to put the frame, but I'm going to use 3D foam behind this frame. And I need to cut this tiny sliver out of my card. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry for the noise.
Oh, no, that's fine. Don't worry. So, I'm just going to line up my second die.
Okay. It's easy, right? It's you don't need a bigger platform.
No, exactly.
When you have split dies, it makes it very easy.
Yeah, and the chance of it sort of shifting when you roll it through is, because before, of
Yeah.
course, with the very large die, if your plates were a little bit warped or whatever, it might happen. But now it's a lot
Yes.
easier to have, like, to get a perfect die cut.
It is definitely. It's really good, good idea.
And I love
So
that you
I'm just
get so
putting the
many die cut pieces in just one go. Like,
yeah, so you have some extra on hand to
yeah,
make new cards. Sometimes you need cards in a jiffy, and then you have extra images or extra die cuts. It makes life so easy.
yeah.
So I'm going to put some 3D foam around the frame, and then on top of it, what I usually do is I put some liquid adhesive. So then we have some wiggle room to wiggle around. And this 3M foam is quite forgiving. I feel it doesn't adhere like immediately.
So, just trying to get things a little bit like organized here that I don't make even more of a mess. Okay, so just checking the comments real quick again. I think that technique that you showed us with the frame and everything would also work perfectly for a shaker card.
Yes, it would look really nice. What you can do is you can cut this center part, and then you can make a shaker. Like uh, now that I'm making it, I'm getting so many ideas. You can make a shaker, or you can color, you can die cut the frames, and then you can ink blend in different colors.
Yep,
And then you have various colors of frames. You can put it on the card. It will look nice.
yep,
Like, once you sit and play around, you get lots of ideas.
exactly, yeah.
That's always the case.
So for I'm not even sure, like I know I will want to use the double stitch rectangles die as well. So I
Mhm.
might cut part of it, like one of the rectangles from maybe some colored cardstock or just some white cardstock that I will ink blend. And then I also need my sentiment. And the ones included in the set I think are really nice. And I really love the scripty font on this one. So you have You
Yes.
Brightened My Day, which I think is a beautiful sentiment. Forever
It's
grateful for
beautiful.
you.
Yeah.
And then so those two also come with a coordinating die. And then you have two secondary
Yeah.
ones, Missing You Friend and You Are Simply the Best. And those are a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You can simply cut those by hand if you want to, or put them on a sentiment strip. But I really love the
Yeah. I
script
use "You
font.
Are Simply the Best" directly on my card
Yeah.
here. So now
So
I'm adding liquid glue to my 3D foam.
so what I was thinking of doing is maybe have some sort of a stack of those rectangles in
This looks
different
good,
colors. So I use like the smallest rectangle die, or I'm gonna use the smallest rectangle die, and then the third one and the fifth one. So I'm skipping one in between so that there will be sort of a border around the rectangles, if I'm making sense.
Looks pretty.
And we have 10 more minutes, about 10 more minutes. So I think Isha will definitely get her card done. And
Yeah, I
I
will
will try my
finish it.
best.
Yes. I'm almost done, but I can show you the second card if you like.
Oh, yeah, true. Isha already played around a little bit and has a second card as well. So yeah, I think someone was asking what color the foil on the washi tape is. So it's gold foil. And I think so far if we had foiling on washi tapes, I think it was always gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jody, or Isha, if you know. But I think it was always gold, and I think some people were mentioning silver. And yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Like there are certain color schemes I could really see with silver foil.
Yes, that is true. I don't remember the silver, but gold, yes.
Yep,
So my card is done, Kathleen.
so
If you
pretty.
can see the dimension
Yeah,
and colors, and I really like the pop of color which are coming. It's like a glow coming from behind the image. I don't know whether you can see it on the
yeah.
camera or not.
It does show a little bit on
And
camera, but that's definitely something that will probably show even more on like a photo or of course in real life. But yeah,
yeah, so
but
this is
it
done.
does show because it is sort of a shadow, like the orangey shadow on the white background. That looks really good.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So now, so meanwhile, I can share the card which I made before
Yep,
using almost the same supplies. Here is the card. I used the interlaced diamonds press plate from our previous release.
mm-hmm.
And then, as I said, I have lots of frames to play with. So here I used, like, I think, yeah, this one and this one. So the smallest frame and the next size to it, these two frames, but I added some soft lilac ink. And then the florals again are washi on white cardstock. And the cardstock again, I colored with our soft lilac ink and the same sentiment, of course, because it was supposed to be a sneak. And then to finish it with, I used our previous released dew drops, iridescent dew drops. These are one of my favorites, I would say.
Absolutely. I just
Do you?
recently got them because they were out of stock for a while, and I
Mm-hmm.
love them. And I should mention at this point, we still, until this Thursday, 11:59 p.m. CT, we still have 25% off all gems, jewels, glitter drops, metallic pearls, all of that. So even iridescent ones are on sale right now.
Mm-hmm. So that is a must have, really. I mean, I
Yeah,
this is one of my favorites, as I said, and it goes because it takes color of whatever color you are using it with. So it will give you a pink hue or a lilac hue or a green, blue,
yeah,
whichever color you have on the card, it will give that hue. So I really like it.
yeah. So I'm just freestyling right now. I have no idea if that's going to turn out the way I think it is. So we
It's
will
looking
see.
very nice, Kathleen. Really nice.
So I'm trying to create, so I will layer up those rectangles and I'm just trying to create a little bit of a colored haze around those
Mhm,
with the same colors that I used on the flowers. So on the first one, I'm going to use lemon whip, which is very
mhm.
light. So even if it doesn't, turn out the way I wanted it to, it's light enough to maybe ignore it.
I will check some of the comments because till now I couldn't,
Yeah.
because this whole thing is very new to me and I was quite nervous.
But you did so
You
well.
know, but that's thanks to you, Kathleen. You made me really, you calmed me down, and I was very nervous.
Oh, that I'm glad.
Yeah. So I couldn't, like, I wanted to finish within that 1 hour. I didn't want it to go beyond that. So I was just working on the I was working on the card.
So for the second one, I'm going to use peach fuzz, which is also very light because I don't want it to distract from the flowers itself. And I'm going to
Mhm.
use, hold on, I'm going to use the 1-inch blending brush because it's a lot easier to get a very soft, sort of hazy blend with it. And maybe I shouldn't do it on
Yes.
my card base. Maybe I should do it on like a scrap piece of paper.
Yeah, that's also fine. Like, I have some cards which I haven't put on card bases yet, and it's, when you need the card, I just put it on card base and my card is ready. So
Yeah.
sometimes I do that too.
Okay, so let's see.
Let me see if there are any questions which. Thank you.
Okay. And I'm going to mount those rectangles on some foam adhesive, but only the first and second layer, just so that it doesn't get like too high. Although I do love dimension on my cards, but 3 layers of like 2 millimeter foam adhesive is maybe a bit much.
Yeah, I'm really liking this hue coming from that golden hue. It's really looking very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
And somehow it's giving that spring glow like behind the florals, because during springtime the sunlight which we have, it gives that glow behind those, all the tulips, and when we
Yeah.
look outside, and it's giving exactly the same vibe.
Okay. So for the last layer, I just used some foam, like tape runner, not foam, regular tape runner,
Mhm.
so that it is adhered directly onto the card base. But I will like put my flowers a little bit in between. And then I also have to add my sentiment. I don't think I will have time for that, in this live, but stamping and heat embossing a sentiment is probably like the easiest part of this whole thing, or like the one that you've seen time and time again. And you've already seen Isha use one of the sentiments, so I think that shouldn't be a big deal. Just checking the
do you,
comments real quick.
do you want me to stamp a sentiment and show how it looks, Kathleen?
No, that's
I
fine. That's
can.
fine.
That's
I'm
fine.
just looking
Okay.
for my scissors. Things are disappearing right now. Okay, so brace yourselves, people. I'm cutting up flowers. And so we are almost done with this live. So just a few reminders.
Wow.
First of all, if you enjoyed this video, of course, we would love it if you gave us a thumbs up and if you give us a follow. And then also Jody is going to randomly pick a winner soon. So keep an eye out for that. And Tiffany's asking, will you share photos to Instagram after you are done? Yes, probably not today because we are both. So Isha is in Switzerland and I'm in Germany. So for us, it's 8 p.m. right
It's
now.
nice.
So the lighting isn't the best. But yes, we
Yes.
will both share our finished cards. And then
Yes, we will do that.
I saw that Jody picked the winner. Congratulations, Wendy H. You
Yeah,
are the winner of
congratulations,
the
Wendy H.
entire release. That's exciting. And all you have to do to claim your prize is email customer service at pinkfreshstudio.com. and give them 2 to 3 business days to get back to you. And then, of course, you will have to wait until the release is actually live before it gets shipped out. But yeah, you will have a lot of fun with that release because this is just a
Definitely.
small part of what's in there, and there's
It's a,
a lot of fun
it's an
there.
amazing release. Yes. It's beautiful release.
And I think we
Well,
can already tell you that this is not the only washi tape in this release.
so you are giving more hints, Kathleen?
Sorry?
Are you giving more hints?
I'm giving more hints, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there is a good hint for you guys.
exactly.
There is more washing.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just arranging some of the flowers. You can see, even though I already put some on here, I still have quite a bit left. Um, so I will add, I will stamp and heat emboss a sentiment, and my plan is to put it on here, and then just arrange some of the flowers like this, peeking out, which, I'm not going to do right now, like finish right now, because I want to have, because sometimes I have to play around a little bit with it to find the right placement. But you can already tell sort of what it's going to look like. Sorry, my card was a little bit off to the side. Um, okay, I think we can
You
turn
know,
our
I was
camera.
scared. I was scared because I was very nervous. So I was not sure whether I would be able to finish or not. So I was literally like rushing in the beginning.
Yeah. No, but you did
but
good. You finished early. I didn't finish, so I think it evens out.
fine. And you are looking at the messages also, which I'm not doing, Kathleen. So
So, do you want to flip your
wow,
camera
it's looking beautiful.
so that we can say goodbye properly to everyone?
Okay, so we are switching.
And Jody said, Don't tell them I already told you 3 washi sweets are coming." So yeah, Jody already
Wow,
revealed something.
Jody. Yes.
Okay. And yeah, so if we missed any questions, if there's something that you still want to know, you have a few more seconds. And then if this video is over, or if you are catching the replay, then just leave us a comment below, like on the video, and we will get back to you. And then have a look out
Yes.
for our finished projects on our social media. And the release, like the full release, will be available next week, Tuesday, March 11th. And I think starting on Thursday this week, we will show more sneak peeks of all of the product suites to come. So, yeah,
Yeah.
keep an eye
I'm
out for that.
excited.
I already saw lots of design team projects. That's one of the perks of this job, that I get to see the projects early. And yeah, there's so many great projects coming. So thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. We would love it if you gave us a thumbs up if you did. And we will see you again soon, or I think next week. I'm not sure if it's going to be me or Carissa next week, but one of us is going to be live. So take care, everyone. Thank you, Isha, for joining us.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you everyone for having me here. And yeah,
Yeah, so
I enjoyed it.
that's great. So have a great evening, day, whatever, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye, everyone.